In this query, I am using all 4 tables to find the count of transaction totals for each category, and I'm comparing their year-round by the spring. So first I bring in the category, and then I'm going to use the count of transactions, and I'm going to multiply the unit price by the quantity. And then I'm going to add the totals bar, and I'm going to change it to a count instead of a group by, and then I'm going to run it. It's going to show me my year-round costs or transactions, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add spring of 2025, and this is going to show me how many sales I had for each category in the spring of 2025.
So the purpose of this query was to figure out which category had the highest revenue for the past 2 years in the spring category, so that we could see which category had the highest earnings, so that we would know which one would probably be the most successful going forward. So I just used 2 of the tables, product and transaction details, and my first field ended up being categories, just one from product. But then for my second field, I actually made the total revenue, and I calculated that by timesing the quantity times the unit price to figure out the total amount of sales we were doing for each category. And then I subtracted that by quantity times unit cost, so that we could actually figure out, okay, we're bringing in this much from sales, but we also have to take our cost for either creating the goods or getting them from a different supplier, and that got us the total revenue. And then I just wanted to do another category showing total sales, so we could compare our revenue times just compared to our total sales. And then I added the season table and I grouped them up, and for total revenue and for total sales I turned those into sums so that we could actually see them as a currency. And so then I just go ahead and run the query. And here we can see the total revenue and total sales for each category, but I haven't added the criteria for seasons yet. And so I just go back in and I add that for the spring of 2024 and the spring of 2025. This is really important because obviously for the upcoming year, we're looking for the spring. And so we need to see how past categories did so that we can have somewhat of an idea of what will do good in the future. And so from here, I just go and I'm moving it to Excel. Excel just allows for some quicker calculations, and I can also make a pivot table. So now that the information has been transferred to Excel, I'm just going in and making a pivot table. And I'm adding category as the rows, total revenue and sales as the values, and seasons as the filter.
For this database, we wanted to see which product ID sold the most within the all-defined group. By doing this, first we added product ID, product type, and transaction ID into the tables. We made the criteria for the product type all defined. This way, our query would run and only show the all defined products. In the transaction ID, we set the totals to group by or to count, and we put it in descending order. This way, the most amount of transactions would be at the very top, and we could easily find the list of the all defined products going down. We decided that the product ID that sold the most within the all defined group was product ID 248.
As we look ahead to spring 2026, retailers across the country are preparing for one of the biggest seasonal wellness shifts of the year. Spring consistently marks a national reset. Outdoors activities increase, consumers refocus on fitness routines, and a demand for at-home wellness products rises sharply. According to Forbes, with 20% of all retail sales being captured by private label brands, Aldi has the opportunity to recapture this target audience by focusing on the spring essentials of wellness products. At the same time, Pilates has become one of the fastest growing fitness trends in the U.S. market. According to Business Insider, a report of a surge of Pilates participation and equipment sales. especially among Gen Z and young professionals who want low-impact, strength-based routines. But traditionally, Pilates gear is expensive, creating the perfect market gap for Aldi to launch on. By launching an Aldi-inclusive line of affordable workout equipment in spring 2026, such as Pilates rings, resistance bands, mats, and adjustable dumbbells, Aldi can meet the seasonal surge head-on. With 90% of its products already private label, Aldi has the trust and pricing power to offer fitness essentials at an unmatched value. This move boosts revenue, increases basket size, and positions for Aldi as a go-to destination for spring wellness.
For this product, we're choosing to use ankle weights, and we will price them around $25.99 because it costs around $6.80 for labor and materials. We thought this was the best product because Aldi didn't have any, and they are very popular, especially during the springtime, because people are starting to go outside and they want to do more work, and this helps them stay fit. For this analysis, we used ChatGPT to help us understand the price it is to make ankle weights, and we're going to use this information to help us budget and figure out what the best price point is.